I'm 24 years old and I have a business.
I want to retire at 35.
Oh yeah, I don't plan on working past 40.
We believe it's totally what the Lord wants us to do.
Without the boom, it would be a lot more difficult.
Too cold to start a fire, I'm burning diesel, burning dinosaur bones.
The Bakken oil field, where business is booming.
I take the river down to the still waters, ever write a package job.
But is the boom about to go bust?
We're all distracted now. Holy shit, what's happening?
Contact is money in the bank. Done.
Clear as mud.
A little boom.
When you're in a boom, you're just one day closer to the bust.
This could happen again.
I ain't scared of nothing. The hell with it.
I'm gonna break my rusty cage. I'm gonna break my rusty cage.
Liberty Oilfield Services was started in 2011 with 5 employees. In just 4 years, they've grown into one of the leading frac companies in the U.S., with 600 workers making an average wage of over $100,000 a year. But Liberty's swift and impressive growth may be coming to an end. A 50% drop in oil prices in only 6 months has sent the entire industry reeling. CEO Chris Wright is visiting the Bakken.
This visit up to the field's tougher than most, and it's going to impact people. The biggest subject to discuss with everyone is going to be, what does this downturn mean? What does it mean for everyone's jobs? What does it mean for activity? We're going to keep drilling? Are we going to keep fracking?
Today, he's visiting Patterson UTI Rig 286, a state-of-the-art showpiece Liberty's leasing near Tioga, North Dakota. Despite some initial hiccups, consultant Doug Thornton has now molded his crew into a well-oiled machine. But Chris arrives with some tough news. They're shutting down the rig for 4 to 6 months, and everyone's being sent home.
But we get the infrastructure done, get oil prices up another $10 or whatever, we'll be back at it. It's a hiatus, but it's not an end.
It won't be the first time, won't be the last. We knew what we was getting into when we got into this business. When things are good, put your money away. Save what you can save, because you don't never know when you might have to live off that for a while before things pick back up. The older guys have already learned, when you're in a boom, you're just one day closer to the bust, and when you're in a bust, you're one day closer to the boom.
It's a cyclical business.
Yeah, you get these new guys out here, after 2 or 3 checks, they pull up in brand new Chevrolet pickups. You go, man, what are you doing? Well, it's not, I'm making plenty of money, yeah, but, we might not have another well to go to. Then what? It's the new guys that really get hurt bad.
Despite Chris's years in the oil industry, doing business in the Bakken is a whole new beast.
My 25 years in this cyclical industry running companies have never laid off one person. It's tough. I don't like the feeling of it at all. Not at all. Not in the least bit.
Next up for Chris is a meeting with the Liberty frac crews, where he'll have to deliver more unpleasant news. The allure of the boom is particularly strong with young and driven entrepreneurs like Larissa Hurst and Haley Mint, one of the boom's more unique couples.
I just started off a brand new company, worked my ass off trying to get things going, and then all of a sudden we don't get paid. Well, that ran me right into a brick wall.
You're struggling to begin with, but then you just jump right in and buy a $40,000 truck with nothing to back you if something happens. You know what I mean? That's nerve-wracking.
Now, just weeks after putting everything on the line to expand their fleet, Mint Condition Trucking is on the verge of climbing out of the red for the first time.
We ended up getting a truck when I said no, but right now, everything's going great.
Aren't you happy you listened to me?
I'll just get it out of the way. Haley was right and I was wrong.
I'm just happy because I'm 24 years old and I have a business. I'm really positive and just letting it take its course now.
Because what if it doesn't fit me? Remember.
With Haley back to work full-time, Larissa can finally focus on getting ready for the couple's next big life-changing event, a destination wedding in Mexico.
I can't buy a new dress because it's in a specific color. I'll put it on and then I'll have you come help me.
I know people say when you get married, it changes for the worse and it screws everything up and people shouldn't get married, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Ooh, that is pretty.
I can't believe this fit. I just want to get something to suck this in.
We can get a fat sucker.
She is my rock, and she's always there for the good, the bad. If I'm hurt, she's right there by my side.
Can we take a picture?
Are you show Haley?
No.
I didn't know if it was a girl, if you had to do the same thing.
I don't even want to know what the world would be like without her, so I can't lose her.
Who's ready to eat some sushi now that I know that my dress fits? I can go stuff my face.
Ben Moorhead is a truck driver who relocated his family to Fairview, Montana from Phoenix, Arizona a year and a half ago.
The dogs are hot. That's why they're called a hot dog. Hey, if you drop one, that one's yours.
Tonight, Ben and his wife, Phoebe, are entertaining a visiting family member.
Phoebe's grandfather's here from Phoenix, Arizona, so he's enjoying the cooler weather.
Phoebe's grandfather's eager to see how the Bakken has changed the family he once knew so well back in Phoenix.
My grandpa, I love very much. It's more of a friendship than a grandfather-granddaughter relationship, but I wouldn't change it for anything. I love that man.
Grandpa Art has inadvertently walked into a contentious time in the Moorhead household. Financially, the boom has been good for the family. But Ben wants more. His plan is to strike it rich with an invention inspired by the boom, an anti-theft lockbox for big rigs. Phoebe is skeptical that Ben's idea will ever get off the ground.
I thought you would have gotten more done.
This is what I needed to get done.
Because anybody can do this.
Somebody's going to want to patent that thing.
I'm patenting
He's
that
patenting it.
It's going to be expensive for a patent lawyer.
You get a patent.
Yeah, yes, the patent lawyers are expensive,
Right.
but he's trying to do it by himself. Okay, so if his idea is as simple as selling the idea, he patents it, sells it, that's it. We don't need a lawyer, right?
Somebody else pays for the patent. Yeah. All I need is a contract attorney making sure that I've got rights on automobiles, a retroactive, what?
Nothing.
Nothing what? We're not moving forward until we get past that.
It seems too complicated.
Why does it seem complicated?
Like you're expecting... I just think that you should take what you can get right now. We were dating for 7 years before we got married, so I've seen a lot of failed ideas come through our house. If somebody offers you X amount of money, take it. If it's $100, it's $100 more than we had. Just do it quick, get money, and move on.
I disagree with that.
You disagree with that?
I thought you weren't feeling well for a minute.
Not just money, but he's got an emotional thing to it, too. He's going to make him feel good.
It'll be fine, we'll be fine, just go forward. It's like, I don't want it to be fine, I want it to be good, right?
My dad, you all are brilliant men that come up with brilliant ideas, but nobody follows through the way they should. And Ben, unfortunately, is exactly like you.
You're talking about follow through, but you want me to stop as soon as I make contact. That's not follow through.
Contact is contact. Contact is money in the bank. Done. I have to give him the push every once in a while or he'll never get anything done.
Ben, you don't have the wherewithal to do it all by yourself. You're going to have to bring some organization or some person in to make it happen. That's the way the system is here.
Grandpa.
I'm just saying, you can't do it all by yourself.
Brooke Banks owns an online clothing boutique which caters to women in the Bakken. Since its opening several weeks ago, business has been booming.
I'm super proud of Brooke. She's super talented. If she wasn't a full-time mom and a full-time wife, she'd be very successful at the whole clothing thing. But the money that she makes off of the clothing will never be used to support the family. That's my gig.
But Sean's gig just isn't doing the trick. He used to work full-time in the oil field, making $200,000 a year. But as a preacher, his salary is only around $35,000 a year. Hardly enough to live on in the high-cost Bakken. Rent alone eats up almost half his current income.
The Bible says that if a man can't provide for his family, that he's worse than a non-believer.
To make matters more difficult, after 4 years in Williston, North Dakota, Sean is further than ever from his goal of becoming a full-time pastor and evangelist.
So if he could just be full-time to the ministry, he'd have a little bit more time to be able to study, a little bit more time to be able to meet more people, and then we'd have a little bit more family time.
Wednesday is one of the 3 days that Sean's not at work in the oil patch.
All day, he's out in his study, meeting people, and then we have Bible study in our home.
We talked about the Abrahamic covenant, meaning he gets the sign of circumcision to sign the seal of the covenant. We'll explain that a little bit tonight, okay?
Among those in attendance tonight is Sean's close friend, Kevin Gibbs, and his wife, Patty.
Kevin and I became close because we're like-minded. He wants to live for Jesus. I want to live for Jesus. You don't meet a lot of people like that who want to just go all in for Jesus.
As the study breaks up and night falls, Kevin tells Sean there's a business opportunity he'd like to discuss with him.
Do you want to go to my study so we can talk about this?
Yeah, we'll leave them alone.
Okay.
How long you could be?
Long.
My wife and I's goal is to make sure that whatever pastor we happen to be under, that we make sure that they're doing what God has called them to do. And I think that we've created a means for him to do that. I believe that 1 Corinthians says that we take care of our pastor. My goal is for my pastor to be full-time as a pastor.
Okay.
So what I've started working with was starting another trucking company. I praying about it, see that your rent here, the business pays that through the church. So we give an offering to the church that would pay your rent. I think that's biblical.
Yeah.
I'm sure that would help your whole family out as well.
Sure.
It's a startling offer for Sean. The additional income could allow him to devote all his time to church and family and leave the oil field entirely.
He's my spark. He's the one that will call me up and go, hey, what have you done to serve the kingdom today? And that's what I need.
In exchange for his generous donation, Kevin wants Sean to be a spiritual overseer in his new company, providing guidance on how he should spend his money.
I've been in the position before where we made a lot of money, and when you're not used to having a lot of money, you spend a lot of money.
Never been in that position.
So what I'd like to see from you, Sean, is someone that says, okay, let's get together and let's see where mine and Patty's relationship is, where our relationship is with the Lord. Really see how much you wanted to be involved in that accountability. He needs to be doing what he's doing full time. So this business, don't tell him, but it's not for us. It was more for him and his family.
Urged by her grandfather to be more supportive, Phoebe has joined Ben on an hour-long trip to a welding shop in Watford City, North Dakota.
I think it's Ben's turn to get what he wants because he works his butt off.
If all goes well, Ben's anti-theft invention will move another step closer to becoming a reality.
We decided to call an old boss of mine that owns a welding company and asked him if he could actually weld a real design.
Rich?
Yeah,
how you doing?
Rich.
I'm Ben.
Ben?
Phoebe.
Hi, Phoebe.
Nice to meet you.
Greg told you about us coming by?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See this box?
Yeah.
I want you to build a box like this. It's an anti-theft device. This is just to show the operation of it, okay? So you see, it's got your shifter. Ever been in a semi-truck? So it would be a bushing that comes up the shaft of the shifter, lays down, and locks. If you can't get to the transmission, you can't steal the truck.
Yeah.
Okay? But I don't have a brake press or any of that stuff. I can't build this at home.
Okay.
I think with this idea, I'm a little bit more on board with than the ones in the past. And I think that me pushing him to finish what he's trying to do will probably make it more likely to be successful than any other one he's had in the past.
This is the most important thing. That is just getting that out of the way and hiding it behind this box. I'm gonna put a locking mechanism in there that works like a vault. When you turn it, there's two bars that go this way and bars that go this way. If you had a hell of a lot of time and dedication, you could get into it, but you're probably gonna get busted.
Okay. Well, for the locking mechanism in this box, I'd say probably total and all, probably about $560.
About $560.
Grand total with the lock?
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah, do it.
Out of steel.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate that.
Not a problem.
Okay, cool.
My ugly ass mock-up gave him an idea, and I think he's gonna build something awesome. Personally, I'm freaking excited about this. This is like step 2 or 3 in the process of actually getting something going that could be very lucrative.
The prototype should be ready in a couple of days.
I want to make as much money as possible. That's my responsibility as a husband and a father.
To go along with their new truck, Haley and Larissa are also expanding the fleet at home. Lily, one of their 3 dogs, is pregnant.
Lily is very, very pregnant. She could pop at any moment. We're excited for that.
It's no coincidence that Lily's puppies have already been factored into the couple's rebounding finances.
Last time she had puppies, she had 13 puppies, and then I sold them all, and then I make pretty good money on them because they're purebred golden champion bloodline dogs. And so that'll put a big, huge chunk down on the wedding. It sounds really bad that I got my dog pregnant to pay for a wedding, but it worked out.
While Haley's off at work, Lily decides her puppies just can't wait any longer.
Good job, Lily.
Larissa's friend Ashley has raced over to the house to see if she can help.
I don't want something to go wrong or... I know. I'd be in big trouble if a puppy died.
With their wedding expenses adding up fast, the number of puppies matters.
We took her to the vet, and he said for sure there's 6, but he wouldn't be surprised if there's way more than that because of how big she was.
Each healthy, purebred puppy can net Haley and Larissa up to $1,000.
Good job, Lily.
It is.
It is a puppy? Can you grab it? Oh,
I don't know how
it
big
is a puppy. I don't know how to do this.
I don't know how big they are.
Okay, we need to get Haley on the phone. Haley?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, the first puppy's out. It's still in its sack, though, because she hasn't pushed it all the way out. How do we know if we need to break the sack ourselves?
There's so much road construction, I probably won't even make it.
Everything I'm reading says don't, grab the puppy on your own.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
She's trying.
The baby's trying to breathe.
I'm just gonna keep rubbing its belly.
Lily, get your baby. Get your baby, Lily.
I'm rubbing its belly. It's breathing.
It's breathing.
I'm gonna start crying. She licking it?
She has another one coming, I think.
Here, Lils. Good girl. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew that these puppies were gonna come when Haley was gone.
When we last saw the men of Liberty Oilfield Services, they were fracking these 2 wells outside of Williston, North Dakota. It's a tough job with grueling hours in one of the roughest climates in the U.S. Rest and relaxation time are well earned. And for the men of Liberty, this is where they spend it.
We're at the Judson Executive Lodge in Williston, North Dakota. It's the man camp that Liberty has exclusively from Target Logistics.
When I come back here to camp, part of me goes, oh man, I'm back at man camp. But the other part of me feels like home because it is my home. It's pretty much like a college dorm or, military barracks. We'll take you this way and we'll show you where I lived for 2 weeks and where Travis lives for 2 weeks. Not in the same room. It's like MTV Cribs, come on. It's small, but it's comfortable. It's got all the amenities at home. Flat screen TV, DVD player, bathroom, shower. So it's pretty convenient. This is home.
Despite the cozy lodgings, work hours are long and the lifestyle is full of challenges.
So that alarm clock goes off maybe at 2:30 in the morning. Get up, you shower, you get your gear ready to go, you exit that door, you might be out there for, 12-hour shift or 24-hour shift, you don't know.
This is experiencing a completely different lifestyle, and it's not for everybody.
What Liberty's done here for us is pretty amazing. Each giving us our own little oasis, so to speak, come back after a long day of work. It's pretty important, going back to the man camp, of having something like this here for us. This is our chow hall. This is where all the crews come to eat. A lot of guys living in man camp probably gain 15 to 20 pounds in the first year working here. This is all fresh every day that they put out for us. That's a heart attack waiting to happen right there, but it is good. Ice cream machine, and that is pretty much, I think the devil made that. So they get some big poker tournaments coming in and out of here. These guys are making oil-filled cash, and they might as well blow it somehow up here, right? The devil got another one.
Yep, guilty.
Check this out. I don't know one man camp that has a video game room. We're working hard now. I mean, a lot of guys don't put a nest egg away, and you'd be crazy not to make the amount of money we're making up here.
I want to retire at 35.
Oh yeah, I don't plan on working past 40. It's the American dream, right? Retire, have a lot of time, have a lot of money to do something with that time.
But with oil prices plummeting, those dreams stand on shaky ground. Liberty CEO Chris Wright is in town to meet with all the frac crews. What's said at this meeting could change everything. After 2 long days of waiting, oil truck driver and amateur inventor Ben Moorhead is about to see his latest idea become a reality.
Just got off work. I got a call from Rich. He said that everything is pretty much done. I'm way excited. This is a cool thing.
The arrival of a locking mechanism has been delayed, but the rest of Ben's custom-made anti-theft device is ready to go.
What's up, man?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Good.
So that's it?
That's it. There she is in all her glory.
Oh, that's freaking sweet.
Everything on this thing is 100% handmade, baby.
Nice. So that would lock it in.
Yep, that locks it in, like we discussed, the lever. Just pulls it up, lay it back down.
Right back down.
Yep.
She's complete minus the lock.
Which is gonna go right here up on top, and we'll be able to get into it, and if they try tearing into this thing, this is stainless, so they can't use a cutting torch or nothing.
Nice. Could you make this for less than 150 bucks?
First time building something, it's hard because you're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
But if you have something that you can follow, you could knock these out, for probably around $100.
Nice. I like it, dude. I just wanted something to function. You made it pretty. It's better than my cardboard box.
Yeah, a little bit.
By at least a little bit. How much? Your skills are all right. A little bit of work, you might make something of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. All right,
dude.
good.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Buddy.
Give me a call as soon as you get that. I'll bring it to you.
All right, we'll do.
Ben may have proven to himself that he can follow through on his dreams, but with the lock still missing from his invention, he'll be showing Phoebe yet another incomplete prototype.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm way excited. This is a cool thing. I think Phoebe's probably pretty excited to see it. I'm not afraid of her criticisms, provided she knows what she's talking about. So maybe I'll get a criticism, maybe not.
After a long talk with his friend and parishioner, Kevin Gibbs, Sean heads back to the house to tell his wife about the offer that could change their lives.
Kevin just said, we're going to start this business. He's going to pay the rent, basically, for us, which, again, would be ginormous. And we didn't ask him to. Like, he came to us. It's an absolute blessing for me. It strengthens our faith that God's raising up people to help support us.
If this offer plays out the way Sean hopes, it could be the key to answering all of his prayers.
What's up?
Kevin wants to support us with his business deal. He wants to support what we pay for rent, he's going to offer.
He's going to support the whole rent.
It's going to be huge for us because you know how much our rent is. So we're closer to being full-time. And it's all God.
I'm a little overwhelmed. I mean, that's huge. Obviously, Wilson rent's huge. I just think it's so amazing that just with certain trials going on right now, like, that God did that.
Could be in the next month that we could be full-time, which would be awesome. We're getting closer, so.
Can we pray for them real quick?
Yeah.
Lord, I thank you so much.
It's super exciting to see how God's working, how he answers prayer, and it's just a testimony on how he's real, but it's overwhelming his love for us that he would send the gifts and put that on their hearts for us. It's an answered prayer.
Having already missed the birth of Lily's first two puppies, Haley races home from work to help with the rest of the litter.
Lily girl. Hi, baby.
Get changed real quick. It took her forever to get that second one out.
Oh, that one's gonna look just like you, Lils.
They're all going to homes, but you're not keeping any of them.
One of them.
No.
Just one.
That's not the deal.
Yeah.
This house is way too small.
But Lily said she wants to keep a daughter.
No.
Yeah, she did.
Each healthy pup will be used to offset the cost of the couple's upcoming destination wedding.
Something's coming out.
Here it comes.
But it's purple. Oh my goodness.
That's a puppy, babe.
How is it that dark? Oh my goodness, it's black.
How does she have a black one?
What?
That is rare as all rare can be.
It is black.
Google that. Flat coat golden retriever. There's such a thing as a golden retriever that's black.
It could happen due to a recessive gene that goes way back. To me, if I saw that, I would think that it wasn't bred with the purebred. You know what I mean? But she was.
They say black golden retrievers go from $1,000 and up. Another black one.
What in the world? Are you sure Biscuit's the dad?
Larissa calls the breeder to find out if Lily was paired with the wrong stud. If the puppies aren't purebred, Haley and Larissa's investment will fall short, leaving them with thousands of dollars in unpaid wedding bills. But if they are, each black puppy could be worth hundreds of dollars more.
Lily's having black puppies.
Are you kidding me?
No. There's no way she was with another dog, right? Isn't it just Biscuit and Lily?
Yeah.
Yep, so I can...
No other dogs around. Biscuit's
Yeah,
the only other
I
dog
think
that
it's
was
just really rare.
Yeah, I think it's just rare. Make sure.
The next puppy is also black, but something's wrong.
That one's not breathing. Give me that thing.
Still got a sack on it,
Here, Lily, you gotta get this one. Hey, pay attention here.
Is it moving now?
No, it's not.
It's not doing anything. But you need to really make sure that the baby's breathing.
That one's not breathing.
Then you need to do something. Is it moving now?
No, it's not.
CPR and newborn puppies. Clear the airway. Hold the puppy's head downward to allow gravity to help drain fluid from the mouth.
It's just limp.
Babe, it's really not doing anything. Can you pump its chest a little bit? That's another thing it's saying to do. Yeah, there's zero life in it. I don't know what to do. I think it's been too long. Haley, it's nothing that you did.
She's having another one.
Can you grab that one? It's trying to breathe.
She had two of them at once.
The puppies continue to be born throughout the long night, 11 in total, with one more stillborn makes for 9 healthy pups. For these enterprising Boomtowners, that's at least $7,500 in wedding bills paid off.
So what do we have?
4 females and 5 males.
And 6 of them are black.
That's an extra $300 per pup than what we were expecting.
But before they can count their profits, the girls still have to confirm that the black pups are purebred.
Just got to do DNA tests. Got to wait patiently for 4 weeks.
The history of oil in North Dakota is a cycle of booms and busts. But ranching has been a constant for over 150 years.
Hey, girls.
Few have been impacted by the boom more than the Bakken's farmers and ranchers. Some like it, some don't, but they all have an opinion. Vonita and Pete Best believe it's made running their ranch more difficult.
It's the traffic and getting things to and from the locations that seems to create a fair amount more of disruption than just what happens on the production site. So you've driven on these red roads and they're surfaced with scoria, and scoria is essentially burnt coal. As the trucks travel across it, it creates a fair amount of dust.
The trucks, they'll just smash the rocks down and it turns into dust. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to know if that's doing any long-term damage to the cattle, but I can't imagine it's good for their teeth to be eating grass that's got dirt on it.
The Bests are third-generation ranchers, so are the Hansons.
Marty Hanson, and this is my son Corey. I have farmed out here east Williston all of my life, and now he's going to take a farm over, and we're really glad that's going to happen.
Like many farmers in the region, the Hansons have profited from the boom in multiple ways. Oil companies buy their water for fracs, lease their land for infrastructure, and pay them royalties for the minerals below. All this revenue has given the Hansons the financial security needed to pass the farm on to a 4th generation.
You know, without the boom, it would be a lot more difficult. Let's just put it that way. This made the decision fairly easy, and it's a positive for us. I know there are people that are dead set against it. We've been lucky to work with some good people.
We were pretty much a dying farm community, and now we've grown, 4 times the size, and there's just a lot of work for people.
While the Hansons have profited handsomely from the boom, some farmers who lease their land, like Frank Lapel, don't.
We started building this place together here about 6 years ago, and I've been just inundated with oil wells all the way around my place. Well, that first oil well that came in here, it was far enough away from my house it didn't really bother me too much, but it was in the pasture at least.
Frank has 3 wells to the north of his house. Since they're not on the land he owns, they're a nuisance instead of a source of revenue. The same is true for the 4 wells to the east.
They're coming through my yard 50, 60 miles an hour, and nobody's slowing down. And there's so much disrespect to the actual owners of the land and the people living here that it just makes you mad.
But volatile oil prices might literally change the landscape.
Back in the early 80s when we had the mother boom that time and the price of oil went down to $18, it was like somebody shut the light switch off and went home. I mean, it went overnight. It was done. This could happen again.
Ranchers Scott Fladeland and Fred Evans hope it doesn't. They've used oil revenue to bring stability to the unpredictable business of raising cattle.
It's made our life a whole lot easier. We were able to get rid of a whole bunch of debt that we had that would have took probably an additional 20 years to get rid of.
This cattle market is good right now, but you just about know it ain't going to stay there forever.
She isn't going to be here forever.
No. I used to say we hadn't had an average year for about 60 years, but I don't think we ever have had an average year. It's always too hot, too cold, too wet.
Like the Hansons, boom revenue has given Scott and his family the financial security to keep ranching.
Yeah, ever since I was a young kid, ranching was always a dream of mine. I'm able to do that here now.
Our future of Diamond J Ranch here looks pretty promising now. Things have changed quite a bit, and we feel like we're moving ahead pretty good right now. With the oil activity in the area, it's made the opportunity to work the next generation in, where before I don't know how we did it.
Dad's coming home with the invention! Yay!
Ben Moorhead is about to unveil his new anti-theft prototype to his family. Though he and the boys are thrilled, Phoebe has yet to be impressed by Ben's progress.
Oh my God,
Right?
that looks real.
It is real. That is the prototype. The only difference is it's on a display stand, so this will actually be on the floor. There you go. Look at this.
Did they make it like that
Yeah,
for you?
Yeah, they customized that for me. But this lifts the bushing, drops it right back down into the box. closes, locks.
Right.
Okay.
So they're just going to drill a hole right here?
Yeah, there'd be a lock right here. That's where the install is going to go on that.
Well, I think it's awesome, babe.
Sweet.
Like it looks like it's actually in a truck.
Right.
I think the prototype is awesome. It's way more than I was expecting. I'm way proud of Ben. Okay, now I have a question. Remember when I was in the truck with you and I did a whole lot of moving from the front to the back and all that stuff? Wouldn't that be the reason why people didn't buy it?
I'm not afraid of her criticisms, provided she knows what she's talking about. Oftentimes when I bring up an idea like this, she has a rebuttal, but it's simply because she doesn't quite know the industry the way I do. Do you remember moving around that stick, trying to get to the back?
No, the stick was like right up front.
For you, it's over closer to the driver.
You're not worried about that, though?
No, that's
At all?
No, not at all.
I would be worried about it as a passenger.
How many passengers are in trucks? I'm just exhilarated. My mind is going a million miles an hour. What do I do next? What is going to be the next step that I trip over, essentially, because I know I'm going to.
For Ben the dreamer, whose biggest wish is to make a better future for his family, the boom has paid off in more ways than one.
With some hard work and a little luck, that's our ticket to a private jet.
It looks really good, babe. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Last night, the banks received a potentially life-changing offer from fellow churchgoer Kevin Gibbs. But today, Sean and Brooke are taking a closer look at the realities of that opportunity.
Did you guys go over a set amount that you would be making?
He talked about covering rent.
For your paycheck, rent would be covered? Right. But you're getting a paycheck from Basin, so...
Working for Kevin is really not working for Kevin. I'm just keeping him accountable and I'm helping him out.
There's a lot of money to be gained, but the role of a spiritual counselor is somewhat hard to define.
I'm just saying, if you're working for somebody, whether it be a friend or not, I just thought you'd be comfortable with getting, like, a paycheck for your hours.
You need to think of Kevin's money as just being a part of the offering.
If he covers rent and our offering stays low, we still won't be able to pay bills, is all I'm saying. So why is that?
It's becoming clear that Kevin's offer won't let Sean quit his job in the oil field. At least not yet.
I just want to teach the Bible. I just want to tell people to devote themselves to reading the scriptures.
Okay, so it's not like Kevin or Basin. It's, do we want to do Basin 4 days a week, or do we want to do Basin 2 days a week plus Kevin's gig?
It's full-time equals whatever it takes to be full-time. Clear as mud.
That's about it.
That's about it.
We don't have to leave until 7:30. You don't need to take 2 hours to get ready either. Well, that's the difference between me and you.
Right now, Larissa and I are getting ready for our engagement photos. Our wedding date's 12, 13, 14. I don't know, we've been pushing back photos because I've been at work, and finally it's gonna work out where we can go get our pictures taken, and we're kind of excited. She's inside getting ready right now. Like I said, we're excited. We bought cool little props and stuff for the pictures, so it'll be interesting. We have wifey signs, and then we have a heart, and I don't know what they're putting something in the heart, and we're gonna hold that up. I don't know what they have all planned in there.
I was gonna wear it down, but it's too hot and frizzy.
Don't put it up.
Take it out.
Wear it down.
Get out.
Give me a kiss. Are you sweating? Do you want me to go get you another fan?
Sweating balls in here.
After all the stress of the last few months, Haley and Larissa finally have the time to reflect on their lives together so far.
Look at what me and Larissa have accomplished. We've accomplished so much in this past almost 2 years that a lot of people don't accomplish when they're 30 years old.
You know, our home, our dogs, our business, we have our struggles, but I think it just makes us that much stronger.
Things are, you can't say perfect because nothing's perfect, but I'm very thankful for what I have. Act like you love me or something.
Sorry. It boils down to the oil field. Like, this has given us the opportunity to, do as we want.
It hasn't been easy for this unique couple, but their eyes are fixed firmly on the future.
Well, first of all, I'm going to be marrying the love of my life. Second of all, we have all these goals that we want to achieve. We're going to get ourselves out of debt, buy a chunk of land, build a shop, get a bigger house, start a family. That's what I'm looking forward to. I would say in the next 3 years, I'll have all that.
It tickled. If I were to tell someone 10 years ago this is where I'd be today, they would laugh in my face. No one ever pictured myself being with Haley, owning a trucking business.
And their journey together has only just begun.
There's no doubt we'll be 80 years old, wrinkled up, and sitting in a rocking chair at our house.
Haley Mint and Larissa Hurst were married in Cancun, Mexico on the 13th of December, 2014. After debating whether to say yes or no to a crucial job offer, Sean surprises his family by picking a third option.
The Bible says we walk by faith and not by sight. We've prayed a lot about it, and we want to be obedient. We want to walk by faith, and we're going to move back to Washington.
We're moving because we believe it's totally what the Lord wants us to do. So we just want to be in His will, and we want to be obedient to what He's doing. Yeah, we know that we need to go back, and so...
To some, the Banks family's decision may seem inexplicable. Sean agrees.
So, at least from the outside in, it makes no sense for us to leave. But I can't deny what God has continually put on my heart. You know, I'm sure it didn't make sense to Abraham when God said, leave everything that you've ever been a part of and go to a country where you don't even know where it's at and just start walking. And I just want to be obedient to that. Life is too short to not serve Jesus. The reason I know that the Lord, the Spirit's told me to go back to Seattle is because it's not something that I would do in my flesh, meaning in my own natural ability. If it was up to me and Brooke, we'd stay. We have a church here. It's just getting started. We have friends here. Our whole married life has been in North Dakota. I proposed to Brooke, unfortunately, over the phone in North Dakota. We don't want to leave. We love the people here. Brooke's business is taking off here. There's a lot of people who are buying your clothes.
Their plans to leave the Bakken have come so suddenly that Sean barely has time to tell his friend Kevin Gibbs they won't be going into business together.
It would have happened if we would have stayed here. So it was just a good reminder for me that the Lord is the one that provides, and we don't have to just struggle and try to stay afloat, and we can't breathe on our own strength. So here we go.
The end of their time in Boomtown marks the closing of a major chapter in the Banks' life. Leaving will not be easy.
Really excited to see what God is going to do in Washington, but really obviously sad that I'm knowing that I'm taking the last steps on North Dakota ground, probably forever.
I think I'll be extremely sad when I drive away. You know, we love our church. We love our people. The people will be the hardest part. And I tend to not be an outwardly emotional person, but when Isaiah and I drive away Monday, I'm sure it'll be tough for me, packing the U-Haul, and we're not coming back. I would like to think that I have poured my heart and soul into this place while I was here.
Liberty's CEO, Chris Wright, is in the Bakken, facing some of the toughest challenges of his career.
Well, nobody wants to go home.
The price of oil has plunged 50% in the last 6 months. Chris has already had to shut down their drilling rigs, and now he's about to face anxious workers on their frac crews. A nervous group of crew chiefs await their CEO's arrival.
Hedge funds start going broke, banks stop loaning money for exploration, and game over.
The industry. I think I've said it before, if the trucks ain't making that noise, ain't nobody making any money. That's all there is to it.
The guys are just now showing up from their post-shift meeting. They're going to be in there in a minute. One of the concerns from them is the price of oil versus the layoffs. Other companies are doing this.
Our goal, our simple business goal here is not one person who works hard and gives it every day at Liberty is going to lose their job. But we are going to freeze wages for this year. The net profit of Liberty this year will probably be zero. It'll probably be a negative number, you know? And does that mean this is a terrible year and this is awful? No, it doesn't. It means we're in a cyclical business. There are times where, you know, prices are high, business is good. There are times when it swings down. This business has always been that way, and it always will be that way. This isn't a downturn because what we did didn't work or it sucked. It's that it was too damn good that we produced so much oil is what's caused this downturn. We're all distracted now. Holy shit, what's happening? You know, and I get that, but we've got to not let that take away from the focus on if we bring it and we kick ass every day, we're going to be busy. We're going to be busy. Our culture is looking through these cycles and thinking our success of the business is having great people and great people who work hard every day and great people who are loyal to our company. We'll make less money. We might not make any money this year. But when we look out over the next few decades, it's the right decision for us. I didn't graduate from business school. Maybe that's obvious.
The pioneering spirit that created this unprecedented boom is fighting to see it continue. The story of the Bakken has already claimed its place in American history, but only the future will tell whether these are now its final pages or just the end of chapter 1.
It's when price of oil is $0 a barrel, that's when I'm going to get alarmed. But for the time being, I ain't scared of nothing. The hell with it. We're just going to keep rock and rolling for as much as we can. That's all there is to it.